center off of Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot, far down, he scores!
Come from behind for a month, now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him! Wow! Edwards pulls off and buries the flag! Richardson tries, out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. Daniels takes his shot for Derby.
What is up, Pitchfork Lunch people? Welcome into Taco Tuesday's weekly edition of Pitchfork Lunch. I am Michael Carrottenuto at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. You know this, you love it. It is phenomenal. Check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1, where you can see Pitchfork Lunch. Also on my IG, yes, as you guys know, Michael.Carrottenuto. .5 on the good old Instagram as we go live there every day again at this time, plus the YouTube channel. Guys, I know I remind you every day, but subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're watching live, you can watch live on YouTube, which is awesome. But subscribe to the channel, because anything you have missed, and again, you have missed a ton of phenomenal conversations, converviews, as you know, you diehard Pitchfork Lunchers know what we call them. So, the converviews, because it's an interview, but it's more of a conversation. As we have all those, you can check that all out on YouTube, which is phenomenal. So anything you may have missed, watch live, subscribe, chat, talk, hit me up, phenomenally. That would be phenomenal. But subscribe to the channel again. Just go to YouTube. You see my name, Michael Kirsten, but it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Again, like I said, coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum, all there to hear. So again, get all caught up. You can binge watch season 1. You got quite a bit of catching up to do, but hey, it's a good time. Season 1, and then as we again are heavy into season 2, very, 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 very awesome. So again, the YouTube channel, subscribe to that, and again, you will be all caught up and good to go. You can also, as you guys know, for those of you that might be in the office, driving around, going back and forth, you can listen to Pitchfork Lunch on the greatest internet radio station, the best internet radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. All you guys got to do, those of you watching, you can see it across the bottom of the screen, so you can remind your friends. But you can go to www.ksrnaz.com, click listen live, and guess what? Oh, well, the page will open up. You click listen live, hit play, bam. You're driving around, streaming through your Bluetooth. You're going to meet your friends for lunch on this wonderful Taco Tuesday. Again, make them a little spicy, because got a little spice coming up in the show too, especially with a huge game day in men's hoops. But we'll get to that. But yeah, you can again stream it through your Bluetooth. And again, I want you to watch, but don't watch and drive. You're Devils, you're Sun Devils, you're very smart. So go to as you're driving, you can, like I said, you can listen, and then you get to you're meeting your friends for lunch. Great. Just sit there, and you can still listen, on your phone, or pop up the show however you want to ingest Pitchfork Lunch. We are all for. But yeah, you can listen in your car. Again, like I said, don't watch and drive. You stream it through your Bluetooth. You just go to www.ksrnaz.com. Page will open up. You click listen live, hit play, bam, there's Pitchfork Lunch. But when you're there on the Casual Sports Radio Network website, guys, I can remind you every day, subscribe to their socials. A lot of big stuff going on that Casual E has you covered with. The Suns. Yeah, I know. Suns fans, Valley fans, it's tough. But the Suns, the Diamondbacks, who Coach Gillingham went out there, obviously spoke to the team. Torey Lovello had him out. I talked about that. A lot of you've seen it, but again, just absolutely awesome. But again, Casual E's got you covered with the Suns, Diamondbacks, Cardinals. Obviously, Combine just wrapped up, so the Liars poker starts, as I like to say. And then the Mercury, it's going to be a definitely new look Mercury team. The GOAT, Madam Diana Taurasi, retired. And Brittany Griner is in Atlanta. But Alyssa Thomas is here now. Obviously, Kalia Copper coming back. But Sophie Cunningham was out in a trade. It's going to be a new look. So we'll see what Coach Tibbetts says. But my point is, Casual E's got you covered. So again, go to the Casual Sports Radio Network website, www.ksrnaz.com. Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Bam. Page opens up. Click listen live play. Here we are, Pitchfork Lunch, going all around Sun Devil Nation. But so stoked. Casual E invited us to be part of the KSRN family. So, hey, but yes, again, huge shout out. Still awesome energy celebration mode to swim and dive. Men's and women's swim and dive forged up. You are Big 12 champions. And for the women, it was their first ever in swim and dive, first ever conference championship. So the men, that's 3 in a row for the men, the last 2 in the Pac-12. And then the first one in the Big 12. So yes, Sun Devil domination. And again, we're coordinating, working on getting Coach on. So yes, it will happen. It will happen. Let's just see how it and I've watched, I know, don't fall over, Pitchfork Lunchers. I've watched a ton of their extended highlights for their matches, or for their meets, I should say. But it's just, again, with scheduling and some of it, quite a bit of it away, did not get to. This is the first year in eons, full transparency, because I'm like that with you here. Not talking out of both sides of the mouth. This is the first year in a long, long time that I haven't at least gone to one, but at least like 3 meets, 2-3 meets when they're here throughout, like, the fall, and then obviously getting into the spring semester. This is the first year in man, just a very long time. But again, in going back and watching, I mean, some highlights of meets, but others literally going back and watching it. Yeah, just so stoked for Coach. Obviously, he's an assistant coach under Coach Bear's assistant coach under Coach Bowman. Been here for quite a bit, took the team over, and I mean, obviously, transfer portal wise, you wonder, but yeah, a lot stayed. And I mean, I was reading to you the results yesterday. When we have Coach on, we'll talk more about that. But man, just so stoked for swim and dive. And again, the up in Federal Way, Washington, which is where the national championships are. So we'll have diving, and then the women's championship, and then the next week is just the men's. Diving's everybody, men's and women's. But then the next week is on the swim side is the men's. So yeah, very, very stoked. This team will be well represented. Can the men bring home back-to-back national titles? Can the women bring home a national title? We shall see. It's again, and it is not out of the realm of possibility, as we know. So again, forks up to that. A big pitchfork lunch, forks up to that. But yes, I said spicy taco day, and it is a territorial cup matchup down in that city down south at the early hour of 9 p.m. tonight on ESPN. Yes. Yeah, the Devils are taking on the Wildcats, and yes, guys, you know it. We have talked about it. It has been a an injury-riddled, tough season for men's hoops. But saying that, Coach Hurley has his team absolutely fighting and battling. And that, my friends, is, again, in a rivalry game, is great to see. Yes, I saw Chris Cartman reported that I think Adam Miller is questionable for tonight. I will confirm. I will check that. But I mean, this team, look, his battle last time up here in Tempe. Yes, the team down south won, as we know, and it was, but again, it was a fight, and the bench. The bench very short, obviously, for Coach Hurley. And I mean, now obviously it is, but we'll see. Again, I'll update you. But I will be there tonight in that city down south. It is the eve of the greatest day in March, in my opinion. But today is the eve of that. But nonetheless, be down there and would love nothing more, obviously, than to battle that team and to battle that team and obviously take them down on their home court. There's been some pretty there's been some pretty historic moments down there. And just to remind you guys what this is today. But yeah, there's been some pretty historic moments down there. Obviously, the half court shot from Cambridge a few seasons ago, and Bobby Hurley's just like exuberant celebration. Like when you see him as a shot goes up, because the shot went up, I'm watching the game, I'm like, that's got a chance. And I wasn't just, yes, I know a lot of you think, well, Homer, of course you thought it had a chance, but no, the angle he shot it at and he had space. I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's online. And the best part was when, like I said, it goes in. The best part, well, they won the game down there in Tucson, which is beautiful. But like I said, to see Bobby Hurley's celebration, that to me, again, absolute favorite. And just to remind you guys, because I don't like to use this word, but usually it's a whole week, obviously, like football, the week leading up. But even when they play them, even if they have other games, obviously in basketball, which they took out Utah on Saturday the other day. Like I told you, tough game up there. I'll get to that in 1 second. But yes, just to remind you, because I don't use this word, but this, yeah, that's how we spell it in Tempe, everybody. And I know you know that. That's how we spell it in Tempe. So, yes, it is a day for that. Although, like I said, I don't use that word. Just wanted to get it up there for you. The same, but nonetheless, yeah, that's how we feel. So, just saying. But yes, that is at 9 p.m. tonight, guys. And like I said, that is, man, I mean, they might as well call that Pac-12 early morning. Because I wonder, I mean, like I said, it is on ESPN tonight. And by the way, baseball is also hosting UNLV. I'll get to that tonight. But the Territorial Cup battle, the second to last game, the penultimate game of the regular season for the Sun Devils, who close out at home against Texas Tech, and they definitely owe them a revenge game. But yes, 9 p.m. tonight. It's not a misprint if you see it. Number 24, Arizona, will host the Sun Devils, which is, it is it's always a bummer for the Devils have to go to that city, but it is the best thing that city's, when they're there, it's the best thing the city has. I can see the messages now. Those of you realize I kid because I care. Or maybe I kid because I don't. Who knows? But yeah, 9 p.m. ESPN TV. It'll be on ESPN 620 a.m. as well, KTAR. So you have your options of listening to that. And when these teams played on February 1st here in Tempe, you'll recall it was 81-72. And yeah, I'll get into the numbers of that game in a teeny bit. But like I said, baseball is hosting UNLV tonight as well, which is very cool. Coming off that Sunday win, like I mentioned, they dropped 2 or 3 to Minnesota for series, obviously early in the season, but for series that they've lost. And yeah, this team is 8-4. They're 7-3 at home. Love to see that. 1-1 away. Haven't played any neutral site games, so and then they just split with UCLA Tuesday, Wednesday, lost 8-4 and then won 2-0. But then Friday night, again, they had a lead. I know I talked to you about this yesterday, just quick recap, and then they lost 7-6. Saturday night, I was there. They had a lead. Minnesota scored a wee bit late, and again in the 8th and 9th, 7th and 8th. But either way, I scored very late in the game. They win 6-4. On Sunday, though, the Devils did earn the 8-7 victory. And just a little quick refresher, they were up 1. They got 1 in the bottom of the first. By the way, Easton Barrett got the win, which is cool, and Derek Schaefer got the save. So Easton Barrett's 1-1. Schaefer had his first save. But yeah, Devils up 1-0 after 1. Minnesota tied it up in the top of the fourth. Devils took the lead right back in the bottom of the fourth to go up 2-1. Then in the bottom of the fifth, ASU goes up 3-1. Top of the sixth, Minnesota makes it 3-2. But the bottom of the sixth, the explosion for the Devils, in which they needed. They get 5 runs to go up 8-2. So that's the bottom of the sixth. But in the top of the seventh, Minnesota gets 4. So now they're up 8-6. ASU is. And then nobody scores in the 8th. Well, ASU scored in the bottom of the 7th, but nobody scores in the 8th. Top of the 9th, Minnesota needing 2 to force ASU to bat. And they get 1, and Schaefer closes it down 8-7. Again, just absolutely phenomenal. And then the runs, Jacob Tobias had a sacrifice fly. Matt King scored. That was the first in the 4th inning. Josiah Cromwick, well, somebody was going to homer to left field on the first pitch that he saw. I meant to say that to you guys yesterday, but again, so stoked about swim and dive, had to get it out there. Still obviously very stoked. But yes. And then Cromwick homered, and then that was the 4th. And then in the 5th, Zavorik answered to third on a throwing error by the pitcher, failed pickoff attempt, and scored on the error. So that happened there. In the 6th inning, Kyle Walker singled to deep short. It was 0-2, but beat it out. Josiah Cromwick scored. And then Zavorak again singled to center field, got 2 RBIs where Isaiah Jackson and Kyle Walker scored. And then Brandon Compton doubled down the left field line, so he went opposite way there, getting 2 more RBIs as Matt King and Bennett Zavorak scored. And that was the end of the 6th. In the 7th, though, Minnesota got 2 home runs, 3 home runs. They got back to back, but they got 3 home runs. Spanier homered first, then Knoll, and then Richter Spanier went to left, so did Noel, and then Richter went to right. They got 4 home runs in that inning that they scored, or in the 7th. Yeah, they were all home runs. So those 4 runs were solo shots: Spanier, Noel, Richter, and Sutherland. That's tough. That's a very tough inning. And then in the 9th, Helm doubled to right field. Sutherland advanced to third. Birkland scored, but then it just got shut down. But yeah, Brandon Compton, I mean, 2 for 5. New Contratus, 1 for 4. He had a walk. Matt King got walked. Cromwell had a walk. So only 3 for the game. But yeah, I mean, New Contratus was 1 for 4. Matt King was 1 for 4, scored 2 runs. Compton 2 for 5, 2 RBIs for Brandon. And then Tobias went 0 for 3. Josiah Cromwick was 2 for 2. He had 1 walk, 2 runs, 1 RBI. So yeah, heck of a day for Mr. Cromwick there. Jackson went 1 for 4. Kyle Walker again, and he was 2 for 3. RBI and a run scored as well. Jonathan Hernandez was 0 for 3. And then Kian Vu, who came in for Hernandez, pinch hit, but he was 0 for 1. Bennett Zvorek, like I said, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, 2 RBI. So the DH there. So a heck of a DH outing for Mr. Zvorek. And then pitching wise, though, Jaden Alba got the start. He went 3 innings, just gave up 3 hits, no runs, no earned runs, 5 Ks to just 1 walk. And guys, Alba, again, coach talked about, him, the way he's been throwing, if he could do it. But yeah, kind of had a lot of pitches that last game. So, but yeah, went 3 innings, only threw 47 pitches. Again, not giving up any runs. And then Easton Barrett, came in. He went 2 2/3, 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, 2 strikeouts, just 1 walk through 41 pitches. And then Rohan Leto went 1/3 of an inning. He went 3 hits, 3 runs, all 3 of them earned. Struck out 1 through 16 pitches. Sean Fitzpatrick went 1/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 17 pitches. So again, that's when Minnesota had that inning. And then Josh Butler, local kid from O'Connor High School, the sophomore, went 2 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, but 3 Ks, no walks. And Butler, solid 2 innings through 39 pitches. And then Derek Schaefer came in 2/3 of an inning, and zeros for him on hits, runs, earned runs, but in 2 strikeouts, no walks. And he just threw 11 pitches to get it done. So, yeah, 13 Ks to just 2 walks for this pitching staff. And again, some teams just do it. Minnesota, obviously, pretty decent team as they are now. Well, I mean, they're now 4-5 after that game, but ASU 8-4. And like I said, has UNLV coming in at 6:30 tonight. That's on ESPN Plus. So again, you can start watching that, and that game will pretty much could almost be over. And the basketball game in Tucson between the Devils and that team down south will be starting at 9 p.m. So again, you can get some phenomenal ASU baseball in. Go from there as Gonzaga's here this weekend, but we'll get to that in a teeny bit. So I'm going to step aside. When we get back there, we're going to talk a little softball. We're going to hear from Coach Bartlett as, again, this team went 5-1 this past weekend in the ASU Classic. Again, they split with Oregon State, but again, and you'll hear it because I asked Coach about, and also from Tanya Wendell about beating up on old Pac-12 foes. So we'll step aside. Again, we'll get to that. talk a little hockey too, as well as, again, they are off this weekend because they're the only team in the NCHC that has finished up. Everybody else plays this weekend. So Devils fans actually have rooting interest for some other teams, and I'll get to that too. So we'll step aside and have more Pitchfork Lunch coming up. Don't go too far.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is the
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority. Got a big painting
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending the message out to the world.
Always laying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Yes, for those of you listening on the Casual Sports Radio Network, you are listening to the greatest internet radio station on the web. I am Michael Carrot-Sanudo at Diablo00 on X, artificially known as Twitter. So glad you're here with us for Pitchfork Lunch. You can see the show live on X from Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. At Diablo00, my IG, Michael.Carrot-5, the YouTube channel. Watch it live and go back, subscribe to the channel, binge watch, catch up on anything you need. But it's at Evans and Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, as in Big 12 champs for Big 12 championship teams here on campus at Arizona State. So we love that. But at MVC005 on YouTube and subscribe away. And then, yes, www.ksrnaz.com. Again, you can stream it through your Bluetooth. Page opens up, click listen live, hit play, bam, Pitchfork Lunch. We are ripping around, going in depth on Sun Devil Nation. Yeah, but I want to, definitely for those listening, again, going to show this. This is a Tanya Wendell on Sunday, little brunch with softball, and they were trailing, by the way. The Devils, as they had beaten Oregon State 9-2 on Thursday night, and then Sunday they were playing again, part of the ASU Classic. I mean, they beat Oregon State. Then I mentioned this yesterday, but just to recap for you guys, they beat Oregon State 9-2. They beat Seattle U 7-6 in 9 innings. Then they beat Yale. Again, got a little Ivy League out here, but a 9-1, and that was in 5 innings. And then they beat UTEP 11-4. They beat Utah State 4-1, but then in 8 innings, they fell to Oregon State 6-3. But yeah, the Devils are down 3-2 as we go into the bottom of the 7th inning. Obviously, 7 innings. They have one chance to score, and Tanya Wendell, as you'll see here, just delivers and believe me, she has done it for a minute now, but she is used to delivering these. And for those of you listening, again, I will describe it for you, but for those of you listening, yeah, this is Tanya Wendell driving in Nahonda Lewis, who is a pinch runner. But yes, Tanya Wendell, look at, I mean, again, just absolutely awesome. You guys watching, you guys listening. And again, pitching was pretty spot on, but Wendell, look at this. The left, pulls it deep to right field. Nahonda Lewis playing it out there, just and it's absolutely flat. But Tanya Wendell delivering again. I just want to show you guys again. I mean, look at I guess it's right-handed hitter jealousy. Smooth left swing that she has. Look at that pitch. Okay, a little outside. All right, well, I'm going to pull it, and slides it up. And softball guys, they start on a runner on second base. It's like in the major leagues with extra innings. So anyway, not a big fan. We're not going to get into that. More importantly, we're going to hear from Coach Bartlett, though. And again, this team, like I said, 5-1 in the ASU Invitational, but they are now 15-6 overall, heading into Big 12 play as BYU. Again, BYU does not play on Sundays, so that is this Thursday at 6 p.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Thursday at 6, Friday at 6, Saturday is a 1 p.m. game, all at Farrington Stadium. So they open up Big 12 play at home. Then next week, Saturday, and just give it on Saturday. So they get Sunday off, they get Monday, and then I'm guessing Tuesday they shall travel to DeLand, Florida, where they will take on Stetson. and a Wednesday doubleheader at 1 and at 3:30, because then after that, Coach Barrett, look at that, getting those games. Man, I should have asked her about that. Oh well. I can still ask her about that Thursday. Never mind. But yeah, next Wednesday they'll be at Stetson, 1 and 3:30, and then they take on UCF next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday at 3, Saturday at 11, and then Sunday at 3 o'clock our time. So yeah, 5 o'clock locally, 1 o'clock locally, and then 10 a.m. But 8 a.m. here, and they are in Orlando. And so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but still 10 a.m. But it gets them back here at least a decent hour. Plus, you're you're cutting time traveling back from Florida, so that's a good thing too. And then Tuesday, the 18th, they will be taking on UNLV at 4 p.m. at Farrington. So a little midweek magic there before they take on that team down south. But anyway, first business first. They take on BYU, but they're 5-1 in the ASU Classic, the Sun Devil Classic the weekend before at Farrington. Yes, they lost to number 3 Florida 9-1, but again, huge game just in seeing where they need to improve. But they can match up with these teams. But it's obviously to way overstate the obvious. My Pitchfork Lunch was not easy. But they lost to Florida 9-1. Then they beat Cal Baptist 8-1, beat Portland State 10-3, and then beat New Mexico State to close out the weekend 5-1. But yeah, and I said like Pac-12 foes. I mean, they beat Cal in the Kajikawa Classic 6-4 on Sunday, February 9th, to open up the opening weekend of the season, and then they beat Oregon 4-3 in the Littlewood Classic to open up on February 13th. They also beat UW, who was number 25 at the time, and they beat them 4-1. And then they took on third-ranked Florida. Like I said, they lost 9-1, but the 15-6 Sun Devils now enter conference play with BYU first. So just, again, very stoked with this team. But let's get to Coach Bartlett. This is Coach. Again, after the tournament wrapped up, but yeah, this is Coach Bartlett. Pardon me. Sorry about that. Yes, this is Coach Bartlett after, again, the tough loss to extra innings, because, again, Oregon State in the top of the eighth, again, got a double, got a home run, and then they end up again getting all 3 runs, and they win 6-3. So without further ado, here is head coach Megan Bartlett of the 15-6 Sun Devils.
So obviously, Coach, a tough one today, but 5-1 to finish out. Obviously, this Invitational's got to feel pretty good, right?
Yeah, trying to keep it in perspective. I think everybody in that clubhouse needs to. That's the most silent clubhouse I think I've had here after a loss in 3 years now. So, which makes sense. Like, it's very talented, very invested group of kids. That's just a tough game at the end of 6 in 4 days. So, get back to work. Go get good like your next week.
I was asking Tanya, obviously I know throughout this month of schedules, but kind of nice to beat up on some old Pac-12 foes though, right?
Oregon State finally got us. Coach Berg has been in the game forever and a former Olympian, and she's a lovely woman, and she just does a really nice job. So they pretty much just kind of hung on right when they got leads and did what they needed to do. And I thought we actually came up with 2, 3, maybe 4 hits that 6 inches one way or another. Ari had that beautiful ball with bases loaded. Ash had a ball that was a scud missile that got stopped. There was another, any of those balls fall, and then you have a different ball game. And that's how the game goes sometimes.
Coach, you had Do you feel like it was a missed opportunity because you had 9 runners left on base, especially when the bases were loaded?
Well, like I said, I mean, 3 or 4 of those balls fall, and then I've got, you have that almost. So all we can do, we can't control where the ball goes. We can certainly hit it as hard as we can when we're at the plate, but sometimes you hit it at people, and that's just how it goes.
Coach, what will you look to improve on heading into Big 12 play next weekend?
Yeah, we just got to get everybody rested and healthy. I think we're doing a nice job. We played clean defense today, had some really nice at-bats. Actually like that the freshman I thought came along really nicely on the mound this weekend. JT had a couple really nice outings. Cambry really threw well. She made one mistake and they made us pay for it. I certainly like where the ball club's at. I think for as young as we are, we're doing some really good things and we're starting to find some consistency. We just got to get them rested for next weekend.
On Cambry's pitch, you said it was a mistake because obviously I'm no pitching coach, but it looked like the hitter just kind of went out of the way and got it. So it was a mistake, though?
I'll have to go back and watch the film. You probably know better than me at this point. But she hit that pretty much dead center. So I don't think she went out and got it as much as you think. Probably ended up too much on the line.
Coach, this team has been able to claw back in a lot of games. Happened against Cal, happened against Miami of Ohio. Didn't go your way today, but the young players have been able to show a lot of resiliency. What have you seen in the dugout during these games with them being able to stay in it?
Yeah, I mean, they are locked in, they're focused. Hopefully I think you've seen them get better from at bat to at bat, as the game goes along. And that's not luck, that's a systematic process. So I thought their intention was good. The energy was up and, it just didn't go our way today. But I don't think it was for a lack of focus or attentiveness or a lack of competitiveness. Just the end of a long weekend and a long preseason.
Yeah, like you said, very long weekend, 6 games in 4 days. Although you dropped today's game, how do you feel your team did overall across the last 4 days, having to compete so much?
Oh yeah, really pleased with them the last 4 days. We got some good wins, got the 2 freshman pitchers going, which we only have 4 of them, right? It's not a baseball staff, so as the conference play goes on, we're going to need all 4 of them. So I thought there were points. I felt like yesterday we finally did a good job of holding people down on the mound, and then we got to work with the lead, which was certainly fun for the defense and definitely fun for the hitters. So, while the resiliency is great and we battled back well from behind, to your point, it's certainly much more fun to win ball games with a lead. So I think they're showing us just a lot of different facets and different ways to win and what they're capable of. So all in all, yeah, was happy with the weekend.
There was a lot of pitchers on the outside third part of the plate that the pitchers were throwing. Was that kind of a game plan coming into today, or was that just kind of how it played out?
No, that was the game plan. So they actually, Miko we played them Thursday night, is that right? It's a long weekend, a lot of games. Was missing a lot of arm side, and I felt like they were really, really prepared for that. So really, JT to Cambry, that gave us a really good look at both sides of the plate. So yeah, that was actually an adjustment we made from Thursday night. We felt like we got ourselves into a little bit of trouble, and we just made them guess a little bit more and tried to keep them off balance better today.
Good. And there you hear Coach Barlow right there. So yeah, no, just very like you said. I mean, I thought Cambry Krieger. I mean, she pitched a heck of a game when she came in. She was rolling. But again, freshman, and hey, you make a pitch. Sometimes you're putting it in the right spot. But again, and that's why I said to Coach, I go, I'm just checking if it was a mistake because again, it happened. Obviously, the pitch comes in, ball goes out. Without seeing a replay, but Coach knows better than I do. So Coach Bartlett, again, friend of the program, and she was being too kind, way too kind to me, saying I know more. But yeah, we're gonna hear from actually Tanya Wendell real quick too. And yeah, like I said, she had that awesome base hit, and then we will we'll wrap it up on that. And here is Tanya Wendell.
whenever you guys are ready to go.
Just kind of your, I mean, obviously a tough one today. You force extras, but just your overall thoughts of this invitational going 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great tournament for all of us. I mean, we all really came together this weekend and battled through it. Nothing wrong with today. I think we competed pretty well, and nothing we can do about it now. We're just going to move on, and now we're on the conference. Got to battle.
How can you guys learn from this experience, especially next innings going into Big 12 play, like you just said?
Yeah, I think we're just a really big energy team, and throughout the game we were kind of up and down. I mean, that's the name of the game sometimes, but I think just containing that energy that we had towards the end, will definitely keep us better and stable. So keeping that same energy that we had at the end throughout every game from the jump will definitely help us be better.
That big hit in the 7th inning, how did it feel to come through for your team in that moment?
Yeah, it felt great. I knew what I was capable of doing, and I kind of knew what I was going to expect going up there for the 4th time. So I was excited in that moment. I knew what I could do.
What was kind of your headspace during that approach in the 7th inning when that happened? And obviously your team needs you in that big moment. Just what was kind of going through your head?
Yeah, I mean, they were kind of jamming me up and in a little bit, and I was expecting up because they kept doing that to me, So I was thinking hard ground ball, and I hit it to the right side to score in, and that's all I could do in that moment. So I just did what I knew I could do. I was confident and capable, and that's all I did.
What'd you think of, I mean, and obviously as you guys wrap up and head into conference, but getting to beat up on a few old Pac-12 foes?
Yeah, no, that was great. That was great. Definitely a good feeling. Considering the year that we've had in the past, it was great to come out this preseason and beat up on them a little bit. We loved it, us returners especially. So.
You have had a pretty difficult strength of schedule already. Now you're entering conference play, which is going to continue to be a testing challenge for you. Where's the team mentality at as you enter these more important games?
Yeah, I think we just got to be dogs out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the game's the game. It's not going to change. The game doesn't know, doesn't care. You just got to go out there and keep the same energy, like I said, and we'll be fine.
And there she is, Tanya Wendell. Quick and to the point there. And no, I laughed because I was going to say, just like her hitting, her timely hitting. But yeah, this team, like I said, 15-6, absolutely awesome. But that wraps up softball. Guys, tonight, 9 p.m., ESPN. If you're making the trip down like I will be, I'll have updates for you. Be down in the city down south tonight for that game. So rock on to that. But yeah, the Devils taking on the Cats, who are number 20, 20th, I want to say, in the country. I can tell you that right now. Yes, Auburn's still number 1. Oh, 24, not 20. We're 20. They're 24. And it's crazy because BYU, who beat them, never should have beat them on that foul call, but nonetheless, not going to go into that. BYU is 23, right above Arizona, and then in the AP, and then let's see. Iowa State is number 10. Texas Tech is number 9. And Houston is 3. Like I said, Houston's the number 1 seed. Even before they were in here, I was saying, right now, Auburn, Duke, Houston, and Tennessee would be your number 1 seeds. Tennessee 25-4, or 24-5, pardon me. Florida's 25-4. I know that, Georgia. So, but I mean, if you go from that, I mean, maybe, yeah, I mean, St. John's, man, what Rick Pitino's doing, they won the Big East for the first time in 40 years. That's great. We'll get to that later. But Arizona, number 24, the Devils have a chance to see what they can do. And then, lastly, that's what I was going to confirm for everybody, because I think Adam Miller was questionable for tonight, as per Chris Cartman into the program, obviously, of Pitchfork Lunch. Again, does an awesome job. He is the publisher of Sun Devil Source for 24/7 Sports. And in the know there, but he I think it reported earlier that Adam Adam Miller status for tonight's game at Arizona remains TBD per Bobby Hurley on 98.7 FM. This morning, Miller missed ASU's last game due to a hip injury, and that against Utah, we saw that, guys. Yeah, we saw that, and he missed the Utah game in which they, because the BYU game, he again had gotten hurt and gotten banged up and tried to come back, and yeah, it was just pretty tough. Yeah, because they beat K-State. They lost to BYU 91-81. Again, they were battling, but Adam Miller short bench, and then Utah, man, 99-73. I know. Again, I'm not ignoring it. I'm just saying they Miller played oh, he didn't play last game, yeah. Against Utah. So Miller didn't play against Utah after BYU. So again, want him to be okay as long as he's okay, but would love to see it. I mean, yeah, Josan Sannon, though, 28 points, man, 11. See, that's why I asked Adam Miller that. Again, I'm not a genius. Again, I'm not breaking my, arm to pat myself on the back, but Sannon, 11 for 20. I wrote this down on my notes. I forgot to tell you guys, 11 for 20. I'm not sure you saw it, but 4 for 5 from 3 against Utah. When I saw the highlights, I was like, dang, 28 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He had a block as well. Bashir Jihad had 16. Alston Mason back in the lineup, feeling better, had 13 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, a steal. Of course, that leader on the court that Bobby Hurley talked about. So, man, if we can get Adam Miller in tonight, that would be huge. I know Trevor Best, he played 28 minutes, had 7 points. Again, 2 for 7 from the field, but 1 for 3 from 3, 2 for 4 from the line. Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, absolutely awesome. But, yeah, I mean, if we get Adam Miller back, you'll give them a run for their money, man. Again, like I'm saying, I'm going to leave it to you. I'm going to leave it like this, guys, like I said, because as we know this week and these territorial cup rivalry games, yes, just remember, that's how we spell it in Tempe, forever and always. So absolute forks up to that. But yes, just wanted to get that in there for you. So I'm going to get out of here. Look, everybody have a phenomenal rest of your Monday or Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Make them a little spicy, little jalapenos. I will see you tonight, 9 p.m. Again, baseball's taking on UNLV at 6:30. Women's lacrosse is actually playing at 4. So if you're in Tempe, again, check it out. But I will see you tomorrow on the greatest day of March. So you might figure out why. Shoot me a message. I don't know. I just think tomorrow is a phenomenal day in March. That being said, have a phenomenal rest of your Taco Tuesday. Again, a little spice, maybe some little spice on, a little jalapenos. It'll absolutely rock. And like Big 12 champions, one of the 4 Big 12 champions, women's volleyball, reminded me, #OurState. That's right. And that definitely goes into effect tonight when we take on that team down south in men's hoops. And as always, you guys know it. Forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Blake Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Quick flag.
That's away. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
From behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get it. Wow.
Edwards pulls up and buries the flag.
Shot for